Hello everyone! I'm AYANA, a Vtuber. Today I will explain how to use the graph editor. Let's begin! Let's start! Use the graph editor to adjust animation behavior in detail. If you switch the view to the graph editor, you can edit it intuitively while viewing the graph. Click on the Graph Editor button above the timeline panel to show the graph editor. Note that the graph will not appear unless this property has no keyframe. When you select a property with a keyframe created, the graph editor appears like this. If the graph editor displays a speed graph, click the Choose Graph Type and Options button and select Edit Value Graph to change to the value graph. Next, let's look at the Graph Editor interface. If you click Choose which properties are shown in the Graph Editor button, you can select the properties that appear in the Graph Editor. If you click Choose Graph Type and Options button, you can select and change between Value Graph, Speed Graph, and Reference Graph. Also, you can change what you want to be displayed in the Graph Editor. If you click Show Transform Box button, when multiple keyframes are selected, the transform box will appear, and we can move as well as edit the keyframes at the same time. If you turn on the Snap button, it is snapped at the point when editing keyframes or graphs. If you turn on Auto Zoom Graph Height button, it automatically zooms in to make it easier to see when you change the graph height. If you click Fit Selection to View button, the selected range will be enlarged. If you click Fit All Graphs to View button, you can adjust the view so that all graphs are visible. Click Separate Dimensions button to divide the selected property into x-axis and y-axis dimensions and edit the x-axis and y-axis graphs accordingly. If you click Edit Selected Keyframes, you can change the interpolation method, speed, and use Keyframe Assistant. If you click Convert Selected Keyframe to Hold, you can convert the interpolation method of the selected keyframe to hold. If you click Convert Selected Keyframe to Linear, you can convert the interpolation method of the selected keyframe to linear. If you click Convert Selected Keyframe to Auto Bezier, you can convert the interpolation method of the selected keyframes to Auto Bezier. If you click Easy Ease button, you can change the keyframe assistant to Easy Ease. If you click Easy Ease In button, you can change the keyframe assistant to Easy Ease In. If you click Easy Ease Out button, you can change the keyframe assistant to Easy Ease Out. When you click the Choose Graph Type and Options button in the Graph Editor, a menu of graph types will appear, allowing you to switch between Value Graph, Speed Graph, and Reference Graph. A value graph represents a graph in which the value of a layer property changes. The red line in the graph represents the X position change graph, and the green line represents the Y position change graph. In the speed graph, you can adjust the speed while looking at the graph. The horizontal axis of the graph represents time, and the vertical axis represents speed changes. The higher the graph, the faster the speed. The horizontal part of the graph has a consistent speed, and the lower the graph, the slower it is. You can also check the animation speed on the composition panel. The narrower the distance between the points in the motion path, the faster the speed, and the same speed when the distance is constant. If you check the reference graph, you can edit it while checking both the value graph and speed graph. If you check the speed graph and reference graph, you can display both the speed graph and reference graph and edit the speed graph while checking both graphs. In the value graph, the graph changes at the points with keyframe added. Curves and straight lines show how the values change, so let's adjust the points while looking at the graph. To adjust a point, first select the point you want to edit in the Graph Editor. When you select a point, keyframe assistant buttons appear, so you can adjust the point by selecting them. If you click Easy Ease, the graph appears like this. The point starts moving slowly and stops slowly. If you click Easy Ease Out, the graph appears like this. It moves smoothly immediately after the start keyframe and slowly accelerates. When you click Easy Ease In, the graph appears like this. It moves smoothly immediately before the terminating keyframe and slows down slowly. When you click Convert Selected Keyframe to Hold button, the chart appears like this. The values of the keyframe are kept until the next keyframe. When you click Convert Selected Keyframe to Auto Bezier, the graph appears like this. The keyframes are connected with a smooth curve and change smoothly. When you click Convert Selected Keyframe to Linear, the chart appears like this. It interpolates between keyframes at a constant rate of change, and the lines connecting the keyframes are shown as straight lines. This is the end of the lecture on how to use the graph editor. How is everyone doing? Did you understand today's lecture? If you found today's lecture useful, please subscribe. If you have any requests, please let us know in the comments below. See you again for the next lecture. See you soon. Bye-bye.